Welcome back to another video. This will be part two of maintaining a cloud solution. This is going to be even more fun than the last. We're going to do a few things. We're going to go over creating an instance in an OpenStack environment. That's going to be fairly quickly. I may actually do most of it before recording again because I've already done it on video. Then we're going to actually verify the resource utilization in an OpenStack environment. And then we're going to verify the status of essential services in an OpenStack environment. Let's go ahead and get started with the first exercise. All right, so building back up the last video from part one, now what I'm going to do as far as like the instances and all of the key pairs and the security groups, all of that is still in place. Now I'm going to focus on verifying resource utilization in an OpenStack environment. So monitoring resource utilization in the cloud infrastructure is essential to ensure that cloud resources that have been provisioned is running correctly and is accessible for utilization. Now, a baseline of resource utilization can be created to ensure that there are enough resources available for the instances that have been created. So a couple of key components that have to be monitored, right? A resource utilization, which I mentioned, performance, cost, security, backup, and recovery of data. And what I'm going to do is focus specifically, at least initially, on using the OpenStack dashboard to review the resource utilization. So let me click back here, make sure I'm on the dashboard. All right, so let's take a look at our admin. Right, and let's take a look at our overview, right? And this displays the resource utilization for OpenStack. All right, so while it's displayed, there are options to change the period for utilization for the resources. This is useful when a specific month's resource utilization needs to be viewed, or a specific week, as we can see here. Now I'm going to click the first month. Let's see, first date range to start to take a look at the start date for resource utilization. Let's do December 1st to December 31st. Let's just click there. Right, so now we can see the results, right? So there's pretty much zeros across the board. Actually, let's just do January. Here, so we can at least see something, right? Unless it's under the current instance that I just created, it won't mean anything. But nonetheless, the resource utilization did not really change. And of course, like I said, the instance has been recently created, so there's not really any older data to take a look at. But nonetheless, this is a useful tool whenever we're trying to look at a particular time. And we can also let's see, you can also take a look at the opening usage. Let's see. Actually go back here, reset everything that we did here. All right, so we can actually take a look at the CSV summary as well. I'm actually going to take a look at what we can use. I'm going to use WordPad to open it up. Thought I was going to do it automatically. But nonetheless, the resource utilization for the period is displayed in a readable form using at least this application Windows WordPad. Total disk hours, so if you don't want to look at it on here, you want to look at another application for whatever reason, you can do that. And it can be downloaded for specific periods and saved, and the results can be used to like create trend lines for cloud resource utilization. And using trend predictions can be made to ensure the availability for cloud resources, and if more or fewer resources are typically needed, because we're all in the business of mitigating cost, right, and being effective. So now we can actually focus on verifying the status of essential services in an OpenStack environment. Now, some services ensure that the infrastructure is running and accessible, and some specific essentials are needed to run the environment for it to function at all. You have, again, Nova, Swift, Cinder, Neutron, Horizon, Glance, Keystone, which I mentioned in the prior video, but I'm going to now focus on verifying the status of the Keystone service in the OpenStack, right? So let's actually head back over to Putty. Let's see, I only have the control. And that's the only one. Okay. All right, so let's open this up. Let's do deploy here. All right, should be in. All right, perfect. So now I'm going to establish a secure shell connection. So I believe I should have the other window, but just going to continue. That's fine. So now I'm going to determine the name of the Horizon container. Um, and see, I knew this would be useful. So let's do this here. Let me do this, but okay, sure, space efficiently. Perfect. So we got the name of the Horizon container. You can see here, right? So now I'm going to access that container. So okay, perfect. Now we're in, and now let's take a look at the source. Right now, I'm going to display the status of the server. Hmm, not bad. Okay. All right, perfect. So now I'm just going to exit out of here. Right. Please for the status. Now the Keystone service is available through the Apache web server. Now, by verifying the status of the web server to ensure that the Keystone service is running, um, which is responsible for the authentication in the OpenStack environment. So now what I'm going to do is verify the status of the sender service in the OpenStack, right? So just going to pretty much, let's see if I can go back here. The Horizon, I'm going to do sender. All right, there we go. We got the container. Perfect. So now we can do this one. Okay. Okay. Let's see where I went wrong. It says the sender container is not defined. All right, that looks good. Got our in. Okay. I see. I didn't have to use it last time. Perfect. Wait, what? Yeah, let's fix this. Not sure what happened, but I am in. All right, so now we can take a look at our source. But let's type. All right, perfect. So now we're in the center container, so I'm going to display the status of it or have it display status for me. All right, so now the sender service looks like it provides block storage services to end users that consume cloud resources. Now, it's essential that the service is running to ensure that then end users can consume cloud resources. So looks like everything's good here. So just gonna exit out. All right, and now I'm just going to verify lastly the client service in the OpenStack environment. So I'm going to do this here. And then we're going to do similar to what we did before, but this time I'm just going to keep typing it out so I don't have any hiccups. You would think I wouldn't need any of my. Okay, there we go, and we're in. Let's take a look at the source. All right, perfect. Now let's take a look at the steps. Perfect. So everything looks good. And a glass service in OpenStack, it just provides discovery, retrieving, and registering a server and disk images, right? And the service is essential to run to provide specific images for cloud instances and then in an open stack environment. So lastly, I'm going to verify the Nova services. Hopefully this goes by just a bit quicker than the last one, right? Let's see here. That's not okay. Let's try this again. Perfect as usual. All right. Spelling. There we go. We're in. Take a look at our source. Okay. Now let's take a look at our status. Let's take a look at scheduler 2. Okay. Not bad. And let's take a look at go. Then we're gonna take a look here. I just get into the zone, so I just forgive me for not speaking. Okay. Active running since Friday. Okay, so now I feel comfortable with quitting. All right, perfect. So now in the Nova container, um, I just wanted now I wanted to make sure I close the connection. But nonetheless, this brings us to the end of the video. Again, I got us sort of towards being in the zone towards the end there. But nonetheless, we've reached the end. Part two for maintaining a cloud solution. And just for a very brief recap, we created an instance in an OpenStack environment. You guys can see that portion at least for this video because I already done that. I didn't want it to be super redundant from what you've already seen and heard. And then we verified the resource utilization in an OpenStack environment. Then we verified the status of essential services in that environment as well. This was a lot of fun. I can't wait to do the next one. The next one is going to be again another two-parter for managing a cloud solution. I'll see you there. Until then, stay curious, stay secure.